suppressors scheduled for tomorrow. No more pretty crazy stuff. Carlos guy? Photograph has facial hair of, let me just see something a minute. I really haven't dug into this guy enough.
What it do, guys? It's your boy YouTube Juice, man. I had to plug back in on this one. So much going on, so much happening today. I mean, where do we start? I want to start from the very beginning, just because so much has happened today. We finally got footage. Man. FBI proving us wrong. You know, in the beginning, a lot of people were upset with the sheriff's department because they thought that they had did a poor job.
This guy's fake
but
around. See, that's where I'm confused.
I mean, it looks like they're doing
spread this guy
exceptionally well. I mean, it's a little late. You know, that's the bad part about it. You know, they definitely are super late, and I think if they did a lot of things quicker, you know, it could have changed a lot of things. But it looks like we're moving in a direction.
Like the father.
We're moving somewhere.
This is from Pima County. This is
right now, I'm currently watching a live video with JLR Investigates. He's live right now. It looks like he is in that location where they were at when that suspect that they got pulled over right outside of I think Rio Rico.
Smokes.
I got a lot of videos I want to show y'all. But that's not the guy, guys. That's not the guy. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This ain't the guy that they got. I saw the guy. I want to share a video right now of the family, because the family is the one that's saying that it's not the guy. Shout out to JLR Gaming. Can I say gaming? JLR Investigates for his work. I mean, this guy's been everywhere today. 12-hour streams. It looks like he's on to another 12-hour stream. He's probably not gonna get no sleep on this one, but I'm telling you, I did the comparison. I was looking at the guy that they got.
Is he the one?
Supposedly,
that they say?
They're saying it could be the son-in-law. I think it's Tomasso. Bro. I'm sorry. I think it's Tomasso. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, actually. But Tomasso is definitely, I feel like a suspect in this. I could be wrong. I said it yesterday. I'm sticking with it because I still feel the same way. Just considering all the things that, you know, I feel like can, you know, really connect him there. And I got a lot of things I want to, you know, put in comparison to that to, you know, further justify my thoughts, because I think it's just looking at the picture. You see the amount of hair around the face. You remember when they said that?
Yo, this is insanity.
When the ransom letter came out, it was.
Yo. I don't even know what to say.
Really good grammar. And that's one thing I wanted to point out pertaining to Tomasso, because I believe he's a biology teacher. And
did they?
Don't quote me on it, but I think when you are doing biology, you definitely have to have good grammar. I looked that up. We're gonna look at that, bro. We got so much to look at right now. It looks like JLR is discovering
This is crazy.
that he's not the suspect. He's realizing
All right, we're on our
he
way
is
back to
not the
Tucson. We'll just
suspect
sit
right
and
now.
talk
He's
and drive
flipping
and
out
talk.
right now. I said it. That's not the guy. Let's play the video of the family member real quick. We'll cut off JL. We'll go right back to JLR right now. I just want to play this video for y'all real quick.
But I first want to get to the mother-in-law of the subject.
Breaking news, by the way, guys.
Right
This
now, and I want
is
you to
right
hear
now.
everything that
This
she
is
told
everything
me.
that happened within an hour ago.
It's Carlos Palazuelo that has nothing to do with it either. I don't know what else to say. They're just invading my property. I told them they're going in and out of my house, taking a lot of pictures and everything. I mean, like I told them, we're not hiding anything. I give them permission. You can go and search. There's nothing in my house. You won't find anything because we don't have nothing to hide.
Is this your son-in-law's vehicle?
The one that was on the side of the, that's my daughter's vehicle.
So what is your son's name?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
Yeah, that's
So
her husband.
you live in? It's her husband. So it's your
her-
son-in-law.
Yeah,
who
my
they
son.
took away.
Yeah. Carlos Palazuelos, yeah. He has nothing to do with that
Did he
either.
ever say anything about Nancy Guthrie?
Nothing. We never, like I told the FBI, the investigator, if I knew anything about her, I said I saw her on Facebook, but I didn't read what was going on with her because I don't know her and I don't have the right to. I mean, if I don't know anybody, I won't read the story. I just go over, keep on going on the phone because I don't know her.
So
I
how
don't-
did this all happen?
I don't know,
Were
somebody-
you home when they
No,
showed up?
I was coming from Tucson when they had my son outside the house. They broke in my house without a warrant or nothing.
So
Also
she said
telling
she was
me
coming
that they
from
have not-
Tucson. Let's run this back.
I don't
Let's
know
start this over.
What else to say?
Yeah.
They're just invading my property. I told them they're going in and out of my house, taking a lot of pictures.
So this is the mother of the suspect that was detained right outside of Rio Rico, guys. And I'm going to read it. It says, person detained, home search. Authorities are questioning a person who is detained in Rio Rico, Arizona, around 60 miles south of Tucson near the U.S. border in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, and authorities are searching a car and a home. Surveillance videos. That was earlier. There were a lot of FBI right outside of Annie's home. There's been so many FBI surrounding Annie's home, and like I said yesterday, I feel like Annie Guthrie, as well as Tomasso, they have something to do with this, bro. I'm not gonna promise anything, but I think I'm on to something here. I think we're gonna discover some things. I think they got something in the tank they haven't pitched to the public yet, that we're definitely going to hear about tomorrow. I mean, it keeps moving, bro. And FBI proved that their technology is strong, and they definitely have stuff that is very effective. So, I mean, if they're able to pull enough strings to get the nest, because Nancy Guthrie had a Nest Ring camera outside the home, and they were able to somehow retrieve the video. So, I mean, if they were able to do that, I mean, imagine what else they're able to show, and present to the world that they're very capable of. So, let's run that video, though.
Pictures and everything. I mean, like I told them, we're not hiding anything. I give them permission. You can go and search.
So
There's
again, this
nothing in my house.
is the mom
You
of the
won't find
suspect
anything
that they
because
detained
we have
outside of
nothing
Rio
to hide.
Rico.
Is this your son-in-law's vehicle?
The one that was on the side of the, that's my daughter's vehicle.
So what is your son's name?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
Yeah, that's her
So
husband.
you live in? It's her husband. So
It's
it's your
her hus-
son-in-law.
Yeah,
who
my
they
son.
took
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos
last name?
Palazuelos, yeah. He has nothing to do with that
Did he
either.
ever say anything about Nancy Guthrie?
Nothing. We never, like I told the FBI, the investigator, if I knew anything about her, I said I saw her on Facebook, but I didn't read what was going on with her because I don't know her and I don't have the right to. I mean, if I don't know anybody, I won't read the story. I just go over, keep on going on my phone because I don't know her.
So
I
how
don't-
did this all happen?
I don't know, somebody-
Were you home when they
No,
showed up?
I was coming from Tucson when they had my son outside the house. They broke in my house without a warrant or nothing. They broke my door. They went inside my house. My son was playing on Nintendo. He had his headphones on. They got him and put him in that cuff and took him outside. And then they asked him what's going on. There isn't anything. Do you have a search warrant? They said they didn't have any search warrant by then. And they still ask him, do you still have a search warrant? And they don't give me an answer.
Does your son-in-law ever go to Tucson? Does
He
work?
works in Tucson.
What does he do?
He's a delivery guy. He does like FedEx or something like that.
Okay.
That's what he works on.
And so you're not allowed to go home right now?
No, they wanted us in. They keep on going in and out of my house, taking pictures. And I don't know why. I mean,
Your son was the one that was detained.
yeah, he was detained for... They showed me a video to see if it was him. To see if he...
That is
Yeah, it
not
was my
our
son-in-law.
suspect. I said this from the beginning.
If I recognize the thing he was wearing, he doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have anything that comes on the video.
Was it
That's it.
surveillance footage?
From the house, I think from house. Yeah, they showed me that picture.
What surveillance video did they show you? I'm sorry.
One outside of
from
the lady.
Nancy's house.
Yeah,
Does that look like him?
No, it doesn't look like him. No, not at all.
Has he ever been in trouble?
No. Well, he was when he was underage.
Okay, but nothing serious. Anything serious?
No, nothing serious.
How old is he?
¿Cuándo yo tendré el Carlos?
36.
36, yeah.
So are they waiting on a search warrant now?
I don't know. I've been asking for the search warrant. They haven't said anything. They can't tell me nothing. They don't say anything. I mean, I know that it's been going on in all the news, but what can I do?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. That's why I came to talk to you to let everybody know that there's nothing had to do with my house. I don't know
Is
where
this
the
your daughter?
She's my daughter-in-law.
Okay.
The tip
So
came
again,
from up
this
there,
is the
Tucson or
mother
Mar-
of the suspect that you guys just heard about that got detained right outside of Rio Rico. And she's saying that her son has nothing to do with it. He's not a suspect. And I looked at the pictures and right away I told my girl, I was like, that's not him. That's not the guy. We're going to tune back into JLR in just a second because he's over there right now and he's stunned because they're realizing that that's not the suspect.
And I don't know who told. They gave my address, but really, I told him you can go into my house. It's a small house. I have nothing to hide in my house. There's nothing to find there. I mean,
Was he stopped in his car? Do you know?
and my daughters, they were doing DoorDash.
They were together doing DoorDash.
Yeah, with their kids on the car.
And what happened?
They just detained them here at the besides the frontage road here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They just let my daughter go with my grandkids.
They were together doing DoorDash
Yeah,
and they got
were
pulled over.
By a Maranic couple.
And your daughter called you. Is that how you found out?
Who called me? No, the lady, one of the workers told her that I had my daughter detained over there with his husband and the kids.
Is your daughter detained also?
No, she left go with the kids already.
Okay. What did she say about it?
Well, it's nothing to say. I haven't talked to her. They haven't let me even go to see what's wrong. They took my phone away. They took her phone.
They
the
took
kids,
your phone?
The kid's phone, her phone, his phone, my husband's phone, everybody's phone. So
Wow.
I have non-communication with them. So I don't know what else.
What time did they arrive?
I'm sorry, folks, but it looks like the FBI has unfortunately ran into another dead end. They've ran into another dead end. I mean, I really am leaning in the Tomasso direction, bro. I'm really feeling like it is something to do with Tomasso and Annie. I cannot wait to show y'all these surveillance videos that they were showing all day long because there's so many things that might just define who this person is.
Came here home like 5
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Yeah.
And what's your address, ma'am?
It's 425 Camino Oso. Yeah.
And how many people were in the house when?
Just my son.
Okay.
Just my son.
Have they interviewed you?
Well, the detective just talked to me and asked me a question about my son-in-law. And I told the truth. He doesn't wear the clothes that you showed me in the video. He has nothing to do with that kind of clothes. He works in Tucson. He stays with his mom.
What about
He
the
doesn't-
eye? Did you look at the eyebrows in the video?
Yeah,
You could
that's
see
not him. Yeah, that's not him. I know that's not him.
the mouth.
Yeah, that's not him. That's not. I told him I can show you a picture of him right now.
Yeah.
But they took the phone away from me, so I don't have no way to show.
You know, unless his mom don't know what he been up to, that could be the only way. You know, this could be potentially the guy, and she's just not aware that he's been up to something. But like I said, I believe we just saw JLR completely stunned because JLR instigates. By the way, tune in, plug in with him. He's actually live here in Tucson right now. Like I said, we just saw that he was stunned that they've came to conclusion that this is not our suspect.
Pictures. I don't know. Yeah.
So that was Josefina, who is, again, the mother-in-law of the subject who is being questioned right now in connection with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. What a day it's been. I just want to backtrack a little bit and tell you some other things that happened. Back in Tucson, there was a massive FBI presence outside of Annie Guthrie's house.
Yeah.
This afternoon went on for hours. Dozens of FBI agents searching around the house.
They're still there right now, as a matter of fact, guys. They're still there. And guess whose home they're outside of? Annie Guthrie's, as you heard just now, right outside of Annie Guthrie's home. And I keep saying it. Annie Guthrie has something to do with this. They want to figure this out. They think it's Annie Guthrie, and I can't wait to show y'all this video with Nancy Grace, because it's almost like she wants to say she thinks it's Tomasso. Tomasso, I'm sorry. I keep calling him Tomasso for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I don't know, guys, but we're getting closer. I feel like we are somewhat moving. We're moving the change just a little bit. But is it enough for us to figure out just who this person was? I just can't wait to get to the details on the surveillance videos, man.
I was searching neighboring yards. They were going door to door asking for consent to get on people's property, and then once they were allowed on, they were searching in sheds.
Let's go back in. I want to plug back in with JLR real quick, because I want to see what he's up to and what's going on. Again, he was live on the scene. It looks like he's headed somewhere right now. Let's plug in with him. He's live right now. I just want to see just what JLR is up to right now, because like I said, he's been everywhere today. He started at, I believe, at Nancy Guthrie's home, and then he went over to Annie Guthrie's home. So I mean, he's been everywhere. It looks like he's back on the road again, trying to go where the next thing is, because I mean, this has been crazy, bro. So much has been happening. Insane. And I'm trying to figure out where he's going right now, because it looks like he's headed somewhere again. I think he's probably going to be heading back to Annie Guthrie's home. That would be my guess, because that's where the FBI still is right now.
Police are about to pass.
And let's just go back real quick.
We got a Border Patrol checkpoint.
I don't know why he's excited about that.
We're going through a Border Patrol checkpoint. Now check this out. This is interesting. Watch this. They'll ask you if you're an American citizen.
Yeah, we've all been through those. You just say yes, and they usually let you continue on.
Here we go. Border Patrol checkpoint. Coming.
So it looks like he's coming up on a Border Patrol checkpoint. I think I'm going to plug out, talk about some other things that occurred today. Keep an eye on this guy, because he's definitely headed somewhere. Once again, like I said, this guy's been everywhere. He started at Nancy Guthrie's home, and then he moved on to Annie Guthrie's home. Like I said, FBI has swarmed Annie Guthrie's home today. Like, it's been crazy.
But you never seen this before.
Crazy.
Coming up.
And when they went over there, they were going door to door.
They'll be like, hey,
I believe they were just fishing. They were just trying to find something. And whether or not they found anything, or they were able to get any information, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, FBI
could be a ma'am.
flexed today. They definitely flexed today. because
Here we go. Checkpoint.
we were at a dead end yesterday, and we thought these guys weren't gonna
They
come
got
up with
these, like,
anything.
at strategic
But
spots, all
sure, lo
along
and
the southern
behold,
border, like 30
and
30
thanks to the
miles
Nest
from
company
Pennsylvania.
as well,
Or 20
definitely consider getting yourself a Nest camera.
Here we go.
Just considering they were able to reach out to Nest
This is on
and
the interstate. You gotta
retrieve the
stop.
footage, bro.
Border
How did
Patrol
they
come up.
do it?
Hey,
How did
you
they do it,
American
man?
citizen.
That's so crazy. Because remember, Nancy Guthrie's Ring camera, the subscription wasn't paid for. But from what my understanding, those were the subscription that wasn't paid for was the ones in the home. But today they were saying the Nest cameras, the Nest Ring camera wasn't also paid for. So maybe I just got them confused. Maybe it's both. I'm not too sure, but
Boom, 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 boom.
I do know
we
that
go.
the Nest camera wasn't paid for, which is that Ring camera.
Hey,
So it
All
only
right, what's
goes back, I want to say, up to
we're all
8
live streaming
hours.
right now. We love the Border Patrol. We
If you
support
don't
the
pay for
Border
that
Patrol. You guys are doing a good
subscription.
job.
But
Thank
like
you
I
for
said,
securing the
luckily
border.
Nest was able
And we cover you guys all the
to
time.
somehow retrieve
And, we love
that
when you,
video footage,
round
man.
people
I would
up.
love to hear the sound, and I
All
want
right,
to see the
thank you.
entire
Bye-bye.
video. They only gave us a piece of the video. That's what kind of makes me kind of upset.
All right, there you go.
Matter of fact, he's gonna be a while because I think he's heading back to Annie Guthrie's home. Not 100% sure, but like I said, man, JLR Investigates has been everywhere today. Like I said, he went back to Nancy Guthrie's home this morning, I want to say, and then I believe he had followed the FBI, or maybe got a tip. I didn't watch the whole stream, and went over to Annie Guthrie's home. And this guy just literally followed these guys around everywhere. So, man, you got to give this guy credit for his work, because FBI's were everywhere. And the crazy thing is, Annie Guthrie only lives a couple blocks down the road. Which when I say that, it's about 10. They say 10 minutes, but I'm gonna say 7. About 6 to 7. You figure what's really the difference, but it is a big difference. But I want to say about 6 to 7 minutes from Nancy Guthrie's home to Annie Guthrie's home. This is earlier. JLR Investigates had pulled up at this home. Like I said, he was following. Well, he didn't pull up. He was following these guys. And like I said, FBI pulled up everywhere in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood, and they just went door to door. I want to play this footage, guys, from Nancy Grace. I feel like they had some really, really solid pinpoints as far as all of the little details that were pointed out in the surveillance that they were able to retrieve that took place in front of Nancy Guthrie's home. Run it.
Breaking news, Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, missing day 10. What a night. In the last hours, we have been given video from Nancy Guthrie's front porch. Good evening, I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Let's go straight to the video. Let's see it now, please. Look at the perp. He's ready. He's got his hands covered.
Get ready, guys, because we're going to do a whole lot of pausing.
Not the thin surgical gloves. Thicker latex.
All right, so let's go back. I want to go back real quick. Got to go back right away. Got to go back.
Wearing a text.
We're going to go back real quick.
Not the thin surgical gloves.
All right, so look at the bag. That's the first thing we're going to look at is the bag. They're going to go through all the details. You know what? Maybe I'll run the video through, and then we'll go back and try to cover some details that they didn't cover. And I'm loving that I'm seeing this on my computer now, because I was watching it all day on my phone, because I have it's way more clear on the computer. I'm seeing way more details by far on my PC But this is crazy, bro. This might be the best break that they've gotten in this entire investigation with Nancy Guthrie gone missing. Definitely. Most definitely. Just the way this guy walked up, he's smart, bro. Right off the rip, you know this man is smart. He knew to change his walk. He knew. And he also came in leaning forward because he knew they were going to try to probably get his height. And that's one of the things they talk about as well. They dissect the hell out of this video, man. And they're probably looking at it still right now.
Gloves, thicker latex, look to be latex, not the thin surgical gloves, thicker latex.
So that backpack is full, by the way, guys. Just looking at that backpack is full. What's in the backpack, though? We all question what's in the backpack. I feel like he came ready with some drills, you know, socket wrenches, some screwdrivers, you know, a couple little things in there, you know, just in case. They said he entered the back first because I'm hearing that he entered the back. Okay, I don't know if it's true, but there is a guest house in the back. And they were saying that he might have entered the back first and then tried to come through the front. One thing I noticed as well is this guy is comfortable. And he definitely planned this by far. I mean, easily, hands down, this is planned. We all know that. And you could just tell in the video he's trying to stay bent over or hunched over a majority of the time. It doesn't look like he's the smartest fish, considering what he did to try to block the camera. But let's continue.
He's wearing a backpack. Hey, jump on that. What kind of backpack? Sold where? When? Leaning over, what is he doing? You're about to find out.
See, right there, I think we might be able to get a height right there at that point. He stands, even right there before he goes and bend down, but he's still kind of hunched over. He looks really comfortable, man.
What kind of backpack? Sold where? When? Leaning over, what is he doing?
I'm just trying to really get to know the age of this person by the way he kind of carries himself in the video, because I want to know whether or not he's in his 30s, in his 40s, or he's not coming off as a 50-year-old, you know, somebody in the Tomasso age range. I don't feel like they would carry or walk like that. But again, this is planned. So I feel like he did kind of come in with a little bit of a swag, you know, just to switch up the walk and throw everybody off, because he knew there was a camera there. He knew it's pitch black. Nancy Guthrie did not have her porch light on at all. This is all night vision.
We're about to find out. Genius pulled some foliage and he's going to try and cover up the camera with it. He's still trying to get it loose. He's still trying to crack it loose, leaving no fingerprints. Even his wrists are covered up. Keep going, keep going. There you go with the foliage. He's trying to cover up the door cam.
Even right there, we're gonna pay attention to all the details. You see that light coming out of his mouth? They're saying that there's something called a bite light, where you could bite a light, you know, bite something, and you know it's like a flashlight. It lights up. I don't know. I looked it up. I don't see that many. I don't really see them out for sale. I did see something that potentially could be.
Keep going.
But there was only one picture. Literally, if you look up bite light on Google, there's only one. Literally like one, maybe two pictures.
There you go with the
but that's not something out there like that you could just go and buy.
The door cam.
This guy came super prepared, man.
He's trying to cover up.
And you could almost see his face right there.
There you go with the foliage.
Look.
He's trying to cover up.
Like right there. Oh, we missed it. We missed it. Let's go back again. Oh, that just gave me the goosebumps, dude. Go back, go back, go back.
There you go with the foliage. He's trying to cover up.
We might need to slow this down. Like right there, you can almost get a really good look at this guy's face. You know, if you knew that person, somebody knows who this is. I don't know about you, but I can tell my friend, I could tell who my friend is if he were wearing a ski mask. Now, if he robbed me and things happen so fast, maybe not. But given the time that I get to sit here and really look at this picture, I'm going to know if that's my friend or not. Like, I'm going to know. I feel like someone knows who this person is. And I feel like tomorrow, we're going to have a picture of who this person is tomorrow. I feel like by tomorrow, we're going to know who this person is, without a doubt.
The door cam. Watch. Look at this.
Can we go back one more time? I just want to slow this down right there.
The door cam.
Oh my God.
Keep going. Keep going. There you go with the foliage. He's trying to cover up the door cam.
Go back. We're gonna slow that down.
Look at this.
I gotta slow that down.
Going. Keep going.
Bro, that gives me the goosebumps.
He's trying to cover up.
It's almost like he got a cigarette in his mouth, but it's not. God, can we slow that down a little bit more? Oh my goodness, dude. Let's just slow that all the way down right here.
The door cam.
That's definitely a white guy, man. I don't think that's an Hispanic guy. It's definitely gotta be a white guy.
Cam. To cover up. The door cam. Cover up.
Oh man, dude. Like right there. Right on the money right there, dude. Who is that? Oh man, that gives me the chills, bro. Like I got goosebumps on this. I had to look at my door for a second, bro. This guy is out there, man. That is just crazy to me, dog. 10 minutes down the road from me, guys. 10 minutes down the road. Just look, you can literally see. Almost, if we just had a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, maybe see a nose. Oh, man, those eyebrows, my girl was looking at it earlier, they go in like almost if it's a unibrow. I want to put a picture next to that real quick. They were saying it was a guy named, I can't recall the name. I don't know if I'll be able to find the name. I'll try to find the name. I can't remember the guy's name. Not Adam. I don't think it was Adam. Oh man, I can't remember the guy's name. Let's play this rest of this video through. Wow. Just wow.
The door cam. Watch. Look at this. He came prepared, full on ski mask. Wrists covered, face covered, hands covered, trying to cover the Nest camera, the door cam. Keep looking. This could be the break we've all been waiting for. Here he comes walking up.
Look at how he
And is
comes
that a
in with his
gun
head
he's got
down.
tucked into his waistband? Do you
Gun aligned in front of him perfectly. Perfectly.
see how he's holding his face down? Holding the face down so he won't be identified. Check out the backpack. Reflectors on the shoulders. Come on. Can't we track that? Can we zoom in and get the shoes? We can get his height. We can get so much information. Now let's see the stills of his face.
See,
Bring
right there where they've got it right here, where he's paused at, they should be able to figure out what height he is. I don't know how they would do it. If I were to do it, I would probably go stand in that very same spot and try to take the picture in the exact same spot, exact same angle that he's at, which would take some time and be very hard to do. But it's definitely possible. I'm 6'4", so I feel like I could definitely come close to what his height would be. Just judging it by the picture, I'm going to say about roughly 5'10", if not 6 feet or more. I'm going to say, just to be on the safe side, this guy is definitely roughly about 5'10".
Bring it in. Let's see the stills. Okay, you know what? She may have had a heart attack. She wakes up and sees that. That looks like a white guy to me. A white guy right there. You can't see it. It almost looks feminine. But apparently in some of the pictures you see facial hair over the lip. Keep looking. Keep looking. Is that facial hair over the lip? It looks like brunette facial hair. Can't tell exactly. Keep the picture up there. Dave Mack, does that look like facial hair over the lip?
It looks like a mustache to me, Nancy.
Yeah, Tomasso has a full-on beard and mustache. Right here, I want to say that still looks like a white guy to me. You almost want to mistake it for it being a Hispanic guy, but if you really look, it looks like a white guy to me. It looks like a white guy. And I get it. Tomasso's not white. He's Italian. But I feel like the world's perception of him would be white. So we're just gonna say Tomasso's white. I mean, come on. This guy definitely looks like a white guy. I'm not seeing Hispanic in this guy at all. Just really looking at the picture, I don't think so.
Like facial hair over the lip.
It looks like a mustache to me, Nancy. It absolutely does. Looks like chin hair as well, Nancy.
Okay. From
It's
that,
almost like they
we
want
are
to say it's Tomasso. I feel like that's the direction they're leaning in.
learning so much. Again, it almost looks feminine, except for what we think could be facial hair. Joining us, an all-star panel. This as we are also learning that buccal or buccal swabs are being taken from the inner circle surrounding Nancy Guthrie, the pool guy, the gardener, the granny nannies, the you name it. And if they're getting buccal swabs from them, I'm sure they've already gotten them from the family. Now, somebody please tell me we've strapped everybody up to a polygraph. More and more, this seems as if someone close to Mrs. Guthrie is at the heart of her kidnap. And again, I want to show it again. The guy walking up, the person, the perp, walking up. See, he's even got his neck covered, thinking we won't be able to identify what color he is. This is not just a robbery,
I want to go back again because I feel like it's almost like there's no full beard. It feels like it's just like one. It starts here and it ends.
This is not just a robbery, just a burglary. We've been going round and round. Some people chase a robbery. It's
almost like you can get a look from right here, and it looks like there's just a beard at the bottom here. Not a full-on beard. I can't tell if there's a full-on beard. But just looking at it, I'm not seeing that there's a full-on beard there.
This is not just a robbery, just a burglary. We've been going round and round, some people chasing their tails. Is this really a kidnap? I can tell you right now, nobody goes through all this to run in and grab your VCR. What has he got in the backpack? It is chock full. What's in there? It's stuffed so much you can see when he turns around. He's not going in there to take anything. He's taking things in with him. Okay, keep showing it. Let's go to the experts. Straight out to Lee Neubecker, joining us out of Chicago, cybersecurity, digital forensics expert, CEO of Enigma Forensics. What about it, Lee? What do you see?
It's interesting because he hunches down as he goes through the walkway. Had he not hunched down, you could go on site, measure the bricks, and get his height. I did a little bit of looking and making some assumptions, and I think the guy's probably between 5'11" and 6'2".
Yes, I just said that.
You can also
I just said that.
see his shoe size as he steps on those bricks, like right now, and also the first step.
Hold it, right there. Right there.
Yeah,
yes,
like,
you're right.
Stop right there. Stop. Yeah, there. You could back up, and if you knew the exact size of that brick, you could probably tell what his shoe size is. He looks like, it appears to be a male based on my review of it, but knowing his approximate height, his approximate weight, and if his hair color truly is black, which it appears to be from the one show, but it could be brown, it's definitely something to cull. I thought your comments about having the family members take a polygraph was a good idea, but maybe matching up the height of the people to see if they match up at least to the shoe size, which doesn't appear to be larger than size 12.
It is a man. There's no doubt about it being a man.
I overheard somebody keep saying that it's a woman. This is very much so not a woman, all right? There's no way in hell this would be a woman. Just looking at the hands, big manly hands, it's very much so a grown man, and I want to say he would be in his 40s or late 30s, and like the guy was saying before, he even said it. I was saying about 5'10" and up, and I want to say he's about 5'10" to be exact. That's just my opinion, and I also think when he pointed out the brick of where his shoe was placed at, he said, if you could tell the size of that brick, you would be able to tell his shoe size. Based on that and just looking and observing his shoe, I think he wears a size 11. I'm going to say 11, and if I'm wrong, a 10, if not a 12, but no bigger than that. But if he isn't, I'm wrong, and he is 6'3", 6'4", then he's probably going to be in a size 12 or a 13. He definitely isn't a small guy, that's for sure. And he looks like he came prepared. And I don't feel like that gun was for Nancy. I feel like that gun was just to, shoot at anything and everything just to get the hell up out of there. I think that was his getaway weapon. And if he needed to use it, I feel like this guy came prepared to use it. But based on that shoe, the backpack, and even the clothes, just looking and observing the clothes, it looks like he went and bought those clothes just specifically for this. This was very much so planned.
Approximate weight, and if his hair color truly is black, which it appears to be from the one show, but it could be brown, it's definitely something to cull. I thought your comments about having the family members take a polygraph was a good idea, but maybe matching up the height of the people to see if they match up at least to the shoe size, which doesn't appear to be larger than size 12.
It is a man. There's no doubt about it being a man. It's a feminine with feminine attributes, but statistically, this is a man, and it's a freaky white man.
What feminine attributes? I don't know what she's pertaining to based on that that thought that Nancy Grace just gave, but I don't see anything feminine based on his walk, the approach with the walk. I'm not seeing it.
statistically, that's exactly what it is. I'm just wondering, there he is standing up straight right there, and I'm wondering if they're going to be able to get any type of height from that. You know, the problem with it, he's not standing right beside something to gauge the height. Lee Neubecker, joining us, Enigma Forensics, explained why he really needs to be standing beside something in order to get an accurate height.
Well, I think there's enough there to discern the height. You can see where his shoulder, when he bends over, you can see how high his shoulder is. Like right there, he's
Yes.
level. So you could do some mapping to the bricks on the side by taking a tape measure out and measuring the sidewall. You'd at least know where his shoulder goes up. And then later on, as he walks forward, his head's lifted, and you can measure the head right about, not there, but as he continues, he lifts his head straight.
A little
and he has
closer, a little closer. Go with Neubecker. Control him. Go with Neubecker. A little bit closer,
Go
closer.
up where he brings
Slow-mo
the
me.
plant. Yeah, right there.
Right there, right there, right there, right there. Yeah.
So when he was standing back a little bit, there's some ability there. So it's certainly fascinating.
Well, you know, Cheryl McCollum joining me, Cold Case Investigative Research Institute founder, author of a brand new book, Swans Don't Swim in a Sewer, solving the cold case of Flint River Killer's daughter. She's the host of a hit podcast, which I play on loop
about 5-10.
occasionally, Zone 7, and she is a forensic expert. Cheryl McCollum, how many times have you and I worked a case? We blood, sweat, tears, literally working a case at our wits' end, and then God drops a treasure, a miracle in our laps.
Absolutely. And you know, Nancy, it's not just the face that we get. That backpack, I want to talk about that a second, because that backpack is full. It is tight with items.
Yes.
That's a kit. That's not somebody that went there to commit a burglary. There's no room for other items. If you watch,
look right here, guys. You get a really good look at the shoe, even better off the backside. I want to say it's almost like he might have something over the shoe, but I cannot tell. Maybe not. Like almost like the biohazard suits. Is that what you call them? Like when you go into a contaminated room and you got to put on the suit. I can't tell, but I almost want to say he had the shoes covered. And if he didn't, why weren't they able to recover any of the shoe prints? From what I heard, I haven't really heard anything about them recovering any shoe prints and finding out what shoe he actually had on. I feel like that could be critical evidence, considering they, you know, maybe they do find the suspect and they find the shoe, they find the backpack to go with, you know what I mean? Usually those things happen, but it looks like we're one set of dead end again, guys. The person that just got detained right outside of the border in near Rio Rico, I believe, is not a suspect, and I believe that was discovered just a second ago. I saw it on JLR Investigates stream. Like I said, that guy's been at it all day, and again, he started at Nancy Guthrie's home, and then he went over to Annie Guthrie's home, and FBI's have just been swarming Annie Guthrie's home, and he just followed them everywhere. I don't know, man. I'm still stuck on Tomasso, guys. I really want to say Tomasso, I'm sorry. I feel like he's definitely got something to do with it. I mean, we had a suspect detained today. That's out. We got the new doorbell footage that was released, which was you know, great to hear today. Feel like we're at least moving forward in this whole Nancy Guthrie investigation. Biggest question to me is the son-in-law involved? Is he involved? I mean, is this the guy that we're looking at that's in this video right now? I mean, I had a picture of the guy in this video right here, right next to Tomasso. I want to see what you guys think. about this picture right here, because I really feel like it could potentially even be him, and I'm still stuck on something. I'm still stuck on Annie Guthrie having something to do with this. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? I want to know what y'all think. I don't think Nancy, no, I do not think Nancy is somewhere in a bunker. I feel like she would probably be somewhere. I don't even want to say that, man. I just feel like that's not appropriate right now for me to say where I think they would discover Nancy Guthrie. I just don't think that's appropriate right now. So I'm definitely not going to even say where I think, just because it's just not going to sound good at all. And that doesn't mean I'm being negative about it, but I'm just, it's a if scenario. And if I feel as though that's the case, then, you know, I'll say that, but I don't think it's the time for that yet. Let's continue this video here.
Looks like he is super prepared. He's going to get rid of the camera. He's got a backpack full of whatever he's going to use to do whatever he's fixing to do. But yet he's got to turn around and grab flowers to hide behind to remove the camera. So this is not some pro. Look at the odd placement of this weapon. I mean, everything is just really unusual. But another thing that sticks out for me is the flood cameras that were damaged on the guest house. Again, that looks staged. Why would you damage those cameras? It's nowhere near the front door. We know now.
You know what, Corinne, you got a really solid point. Corinne says, is this really a bite light in his mouth or just a reflection? There wouldn't be many sales of those bite lights, so contact the company who sells them and see who bought one recently. That might be a very, very bright idea. I'm not gonna lie. I like that idea. I really do. Because, like I said, let's look it up together real quick. I just want to show you guys this real quick, because I feel like people have to see this. So I'm on Google. Let's go to Google real quick. I type in bite light. First of all, I couldn't think of really anything else that would, you know, describe a light that you bite besides bite light. And I think I had typed in something different, and that's what came up. But I looked at images just to see what it looked like, and this is the only image that I got of a bite light, and that's what was in his mouth. Like, I don't think that's a reflection. That's definitely some type of light, because when he comes in, he's facing down. This is supposed to be a bite light right here. And this is what I think is very similar to what he has in his mouth. But I mean, if there's not very many of these, that might not be a bad idea to just go right ahead and try to track maybe who's bought those recently, man. I'm not even gonna lie. That might just be a really good idea. I want to go back to that video with Nancy and that surveillance,
because
I want to show you a couple times. See, right there is where you'll see that light. And like we're talking about that bite light, that's not a reflection. And we'll see it again when he gets closer to the ring camera.
For sure he went to the front.
So there, boom, you see it again. So you'll see the light there again. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Just zoom in just a bit. Just cause I think we need to see this real quick, and I don't think people pay attention to details, so it's kind of good to point the little things out sometimes. So let's go back.
Nowhere near. Again, that looks staged. Why would you damage those cameras? It's nowhere
Definitely
near the
not
front door.
staged.
We know now.
If she
for
means
sure
like
he went to the front
premeditated, like
door,
this was
even
planned,
tried the doorknob
yeah.
first before he did anything else. This seems staged to me. Or either he thought the guest house was the house.
Let me go back.
What
And
staged door?
this is what we're
even
talking
tried
about.
the
That
doorknob
picture up on the
first
left
before he
side
did
of the
anything else.
screen
For sure,
is
you
did
damaged
he
those
not?
cameras. It's
Did he
nowhere
or did
near
he
the front.
not
That looks staged.
have a bite
Why
light?
would that were damaged on the
And
guest
these are
house?
not common
Again,
at all.
that looks staged. Why would you damage
this
those
dude
cameras?
really
It's nowhere
came
near the front
prepared.
door. We know now for sure he went to the
So
front
boom, I see the light come on right there. You see that? Let's go back
door.
again.
It's nowhere near the front door. We
You see it? It's on again. Let me see. I don't think people can see this. So right there where he's bending over right there, the light is on. What? That's not a reflection. We're getting lights from every angles. There's no way that's a reflection at all by any means. He's definitely prepared. Wow. I mean, and then we'll see it again.
know now for sure he went to the front door, even tried the doorknob
See,
first.
boom, you saw it
We know
again.
now for sure
So
he
you
went
see
to
it when
the
he
front
bends
door.
down, boom, you see it there again.
Cameras. It's nowhere near the front door.
So here,
We know now for
and it
sure.
kind of went
he
off
to
and
the
on right there. And then boom, just right there, you
front
see it
door,
again.
Even tried the door.
And then as he approaches on his first initial approach, boom, the light comes on. For whatever reason, I don't know why or why he's putting that light on. Maybe that's going to somehow blind the camera. I think when he put his head down initially coming up and approaching the Ring camera, you know how Ring cameras take a picture of you. I think that was his expectation. Or at this time, the Ring camera actually might have been taking a picture of him at this time.
First before he did anything else. This seems staged to me. Or either he
Yeah, this guy
thought the guest
definitely planned the hell out of this, and he very much so knew what he was doing. Very much
house
so.
was the house.
What do you mean it seems staged?
Why else would you damage a camera on the back of the house that you're not even going to? He went in the front door. We know that. Where the blood is, and we know the blood is Nancy's. They've already said that. That was the exit. So if he's only dealing with the front door, why would you damage floodlights on the back of the house? You're not dealing with the back of the house.
Did you think that he tried to go in the back at some juncture?
Either he went there and he realized it was the wrong house because that was the guest house, and then he went to the front door.
Take a look, guys. We are just receiving this in. Every once in a while, out of the blue, you get a break. Now, I'm telling you, this didn't just fall out of the sky. The FBI have worked long and hard to get this, to retrieve this, because her home camera.
Those right there, I could tell, guys, just looking at and observing those gloves. I think he has a regular glove on, and then he went with the latex gloves over it, but they almost look like they're leather gloves. So with that being said, I think he has two pairs of actual gloves on. Let me go back on those gloves again.
Hard.
Are those latex gloves over actual gloves?
The FBI have worked long and hard to get this, to retrieve this, because her home camera was not recording. They had to
I can't tell. I want to say those are actually leather gloves, and those gloves look brand new.
They had to go through a lot of hoops to get the home camera hard to fall out of the sky. The FBI have worked long and hard to get this, to retrieve this, because her home camera was not.
Just because of all the creases in the glove, I feel like, not to say that a regular glove doesn't have that many creases, but I wear latex gloves every day.
They had to go through a lot of hoops to get this
and
camera.
they look just like that. I want to say that's like a throwaway disposable latex glove over an actual glove. But
they had to go through a lot of hoops to get this. Joining us is Chris McDonough. The FBI have worked. I'm telling you, this didn't just fall out of the sky. The FBI have worked long and hard to get this, to retrieve this, because her home camera was not recording. They had to go through a lot of hoops to get this. Joining us is Chris McDonough, Director of Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective, over 300 homicides under his belt. He is the star of The Interview Room on YouTube. Okay, McDonough, what do you see? Analyze.
Well, Nancy, I think, there's a couple things that we can learn here. Number one is the weapon that he's carrying. He's got it in the ready position, and that would tell us he's dominant right-handed.
That's what I was saying earlier.
So we're looking for somebody, who is right-handed that would fire that weapon. And then we look at his facial hair potentially behind that mask. It looks like he has a mustache and a goatee of some sort, or at least chin hair of some sort. And I agree with Cheryl 1,000%. He has come to this location completely prepared. And then he puts his head down, as he is walking towards the front porch. If you'll notice the lights in the background, somebody is awake in that neighborhood. So I'm assuming the authorities went over to those houses and canvassed those houses pretty quickly. I also want to know where the suspect's vehicle is. That's going to be a key piece of this puzzle. If he took Miss Guthrie out through that door, because in this video, we're not seeing any blood evidence at that point. So at some point, there has to be another video of him leaving, potentially, or he put the rolling video into his pocket because it was battery operated. Because it wasn't hardwired, it would still send this data up to a server. So there's a vehicle still in play. And at some point, he brings her out of that house, potentially through the front door because her blood is there. Or as, Cheryl's talking about,
he definitely, without a doubt, brought her through the front door. Without a doubt. No doubt about it. He brought her through that front door. And either there was somebody helping him as a driver or he came by himself. That's where I'm not 100% sure on it. Did this guy come by himself or did he come with someone else? I think that's a big question as well. I'm still Tomasso on this, guys. I really am. I'm still feeling like this is Tomasso. I don't really see anyone else when I see this person's face. I don't. I mean, they did show another guy just earlier, and I still can't recall his name. If you know the name of this guy in this photo, let me know. I don't want to get the name wrong, and I feel like I know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to say, because again, I don't want to say the wrong name, but that also could potentially be the guy. I'm a little undecided between him and Tomasso, but I'm still more so leaning in the direction of it potentially being Tomasso. But the goatee is throwing me off because I'm not seeing all the facial hairs. Because when you look up pictures online of Tomasso, there's not very many pictures, so I don't know what he looks like today. But that head shape isn't really giving this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? It's not really telling me. I'm just not feeling like it's this guy that we're seeing right there. I feel like it's Tomasso. And if it's not Tomasso, I still feel like some way, somehow he's tied to whatever this is. You know, earlier I looked up the income of Annie Guthrie, and I believe in the past couple of years it said she made about $25,000, and I'm not too sure if Tomasso makes good money, but from what I heard, he's a teacher. But anyway, Annie didn't really make much money, so you know, on that end, she's definitely struggling. I don't know if she wants to work or, they do the traditional thing, and the man, her man's the provider and she's the stay-home wife, Don't know what they got worked out. None of my business. But just looking at their finances, it doesn't seem like they have been financially stable. But who's to say? I don't know any of that. All I can do is look it up, see what Google presents to me. Google isn't always accurate, but I think it's pretty close. And just considering that, I feel like they're struggling. I feel like they're struggling and going through a lot, and that's what makes me kind of believe they potentially can have a lot to do with what's going on right now. But I could be wrong. I want to be wrong because I don't want it to be a family member. I definitely want to be wrong. But I got a feeling. I got a real good feeling. I'm getting real close. But who's to say? Let's continue this video. I want to continue looking at the details of this.
House, potentially through the front door because her blood is there. Or as, Cheryl's talking about, this is a staging situation where the blood becomes an afterthought. This is after the situation that's already, maybe she's been bound or certain other indicators inside the house, which we don't have data on yet.
American homeowners, the FBI has been warning about a type of real estate code.
We'll skip through this. We don't want to hear this.
Just in. And I believe there will be more. Look at what he's doing. Below. And good luck. Guys, this just in. And I believe there will be more. Look at what he's doing. Dave Mack, what is he doing right there? Trying to dislodge the door cam?
He's looking for something, and we've been him reaching down to get some type of shrubbery. But Nancy, look at his hands. Those gloves, it looks like he's wearing 2 pairs of gloves. Those things are stretched, and that hand is much thicker than it would be for a person of his size. And so I'm thinking that over glove, he's got another glove underneath, which kind of goes back to that backpack. Why in the world would anybody come to an event like this with a backpack so filled that, I mean, what else does he need? You're talking about an 84-year-old woman who can't walk very far. Why would you need to have your backpack all filled with stuff? So something's really not right. And as you mentioned, taking the camera off, I'm amazed they were able to get this much video from this system based on what they had to go through and how long it took. But I'm still looking at this. It looks like the outfit he's wearing is brand new. It doesn't look like it's been used.
Yes.
Why are they so thick except for wearing 2 pair?
I wonder if he changed clothes, like if he shed clothes. See what I mean? I had a perp do that before. He robbed a bank in one outfit, a double-breasted suit, hat, wig, you name it. Came out of the bank, stripped it all off. It was basted up the back, and he had another outfit on beneath it, shorts and a short sleeve shirt. Okay, is it possible? Look, you're right. It does look like his clothes, his hands, his legs are stuffed.
Definitely has like a unibrow. I heard I saw somebody pointed that out in the chat a second ago. Somebody also mentioning it looking like a woman. I don't think so. I don't know about that one. I'm just not seeing woman, just based on how the person carries himself. It definitely isn't a woman. There's no way at all. I mean, the man, there's just the hand structure is definitely a man's hands. There's just no way that's a woman. Not to say a woman, can't carry herself like a boy or, a man. But I just don't see a woman I just don't see it. Why does it look like... Am I seeing something I shouldn't see right now? Am I seeing things right now? Or do I see something I don't want to see? Hold on. Let me play this through.
Is he wearing another outfit? Hands,
it's paused, so I
his
can't.
legs are stuffed. Is he wearing another?
Guys, I want you guys to see something real
legs.
quick. I'm going to pause this right here. Can you guys see that on the stream? Okay, I don't think you guys can see that on stream. Why does that look like somebody standing in the reflection, like of the camera lens, but you can't see it? Maybe it might be the way my screen is that might be confusing me. Let me continue. Let me not get too distracted on that.
Are stuffed. Is he wearing another outfit underneath? Let's see him walking up again. Let's see him. There we go.
You see the way the person's walking?
Okay,
There's no
to
way
McDonough.
that's a woman.
Do you see, if you could, control room, please show me a close-up of the weapon.
He did that on purpose. It's like as soon as he... It's almost like he came around the corner. And as soon as he felt like he was in the camera's presence, he immediately changed his walk. This guy's smart. He's definitely not a dumb guy by any means. He's either watched a lot of stuff that happens like this, a lot of crime and whatnot, or this is what this guy does for a living.
Is he wearing another outfit underneath? Let's see him walking up again. Let's see him. There we go. Look. Okay, another question to McDonough. Do you see, if you could, control room, please show me a close-up of the weapon that is dangling down from his waist.
God, I wish they could get some more video.
Do you see, if you could, control room, please show me another question to McDonough.
It's almost like he throws the sign up right there,
outfit
too.
Underneath. Let's see him walking up again.
Right at the edge of the video. It's almost like he throws something up real quick and then ducks down like, oh yeah, I forgot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like I see a little hand gesture real quick and then immediately his head goes down and then he starts doing a awkwardly weird walk because he knows that this is the kind of stuff that they look for. We see this all the time in crime movies, you know, stuff like, you know, a lot of people watch Law and Order. We see all kind of stuff like this where they really watch how people walk, you know, their posture, little stuff, you know, the way they smile, just the littlest things that can, you know, represent who somebody is, you know, because there's certain distinctive things about you that would define who you are.
Let's see him. There we go. Look. Okay, another question to McDonough. Do you see, if you could, control room, please show me a close-up of the weapon that is dangling down from his waist? You stated that was the right hand dominant. Explain.
Well, if you look at his right hand there, immediately he is at the handle of the weapon. So he can reach right over and pull that gun out. If he was left hand dominant, it would have been absolutely, you know, the opposite direction.
Correct, but I don't know if he's pertaining to that hand being the dominant one, because what he just said would be opposite of that. And if he's thinking what I'm thinking he's saying, I'm thinking he's saying he would hold the holster so it's easy for him to pull it out with the right hand, considering the barrel, I'm sorry, not the barrel, the handle of the gun is facing this way. And we know that a gun is always shaped like a L, a upside down L when it's facing down. So I'm going to kind of try to describe this. Somebody who's left hand dominant and would like to withdraw a gun right away. It would be, you know, if we're facing him, obviously it would be your left, his right. And like he's saying, he's right hand dominant, and he came ready because the gun is directly in the middle of his crouch. And he definitely came prepared, and he definitely, you can tell he's there to shoot if he has to, you know, just in case anything goes wrong. I feel like that's exactly what that gun is for, just in case anything goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the cops pulling up and I got to shoot my way up out of here. Maybe he was even prepared to smoke himself, to kill himself, commit suicide. You know? Maybe you know, he felt like there was a potential risk that he was going to get caught, and he may have been, you know, potentially ready to unalive himself. I mean, who knows what this guy had planned and who this guy exactly is, but I think tomorrow we're going to figure out even something even more defining that is going to make this investigation even more interesting, and it might just be the end. Who knows? Tomorrow might be the end. They might dig up some more stuff. I feel like they got more video than that. But let me explain. I feel like if the gun handle's this way and I'm left hand dominant, this is the handle. This is the handle here. And if I'm going to grab it right away, that handle has to be facing that way. Because if I'm going to withdraw, I'm going to need to be able to grab the gun where the handle is facing. You see what I'm saying? So if he grabs that gun and pulls it out and withdraws it with that left hand that's on it, which I hope that's not what he's saying, that gun is going to be upside down. And he's not going to be able to fire that gun like that. He's going to have to turn it, which is going to take him more time to aim and shoot versus him withdrawing it right away and taking that shot. I thought that was interesting.
And so in this situation, we know he's potentially right-hand dominant. And if you'll notice also, Nancy, when he comes up onto the porch and then he turns around and goes back towards the debris in the, the area there where he bends over and picks it up, there's a brief second where he felt that maybe something, he had heard something, seen something right there. Well, if you go back to that clip just for a second, he pauses. See him looking right there. So at some point, yes, there's something that spooked him for a brief second, and then he felt, okay, I'm okay. So this is telling us he's very comfortable in this environment, because he continued on with that activity.
Can you see which way the handle of the gun? Which side has the handle of the gun, McDonough?
The right side, right where his right hand is. All he has to do is reach over and pull that weapon out of the holster.
Okay, he's talking about what I think he's.
You're right. There it is. That right there. That's the shot. That's the shot. You know, holding that shot, I wonder if we could tell what kind of tennis shoes he's wearing. Check it out. Everything matters, but I'm especially intrigued by the backpack, Cheryl McCollum.
Let's pause it right there, because I feel like I've seen those shoes before. If you could identify those shoes and you had to identify those shoes, what would you say those shoes are? Let me know in the chat, guys. What y'all think, chat? If you were able to identify the shoes that he has on, just judging and being able to see what you can, just based off what you can see right now, what kind of shoes would you say those are? I want to say those are like some Walmart shoes. I don't know. I don't even feel like those are brand shoes, which kind of throws things off a little bit more. I mean, and if they are, I want to say those might be, they're definitely not Reeboks. They're definitely not Nikes. Maybe some sort of Pumas. They're definitely not Air Max. I'm not seeing Air Max in those. Let me go back a little bit. I feel like she had a better
especially
look. Maybe not.
What kind of right there? That's the.
Maybe they are Nikes. It's very, very hard
there
to
it
tell.
is. That.
Yeah, I don't think that picture is clear enough to define his shoes. Even on the walk-up approach, on the first initial approach, I don't think that's even enough to define his shoes either. that camera, that's the downfall of a lot of these Ring cameras. These Ring cameras are not very clear.
Right there,
At
that's
least
the
what
shot.
I know. I
That's the
don't
shot.
have one,
You know,
but-
holding that shot, I wonder if we could tell what kind of tennis shoes he's wearing. Check it out. Everything matters, but I'm especially intrigued by the backpack, Cheryl McCollum. Why?
Nancy, that backpack is filled, every single pocket. It is stuffed with something. So it makes you think, if this is a kit, is there a tarp? Is there other weapons? Is there something to bind her with, tie her up with? He didn't come there, again, to commit a burglary. He's got no room to put valuables. So this, to me, is critical that they understand that even if you look at the very back, when he bends down, even that back pocket, the small pocket, has got items in it. So it tells me that is a kit, like a kill kit.
What do you mean? Why does looking through an opaque backpack tell you he's got a kill kit?
He's got gloves on. He's got a way to cover his face. He's removing cameras. He's removing lights. He did not have to do all of that and then carry more items with him inside the house and make an 84-year-old woman bleed. He went there to do violence. He went there to do harm. The only thing taken out of the house that we've been told is Nancy Guthrie. This tells me whatever was in that bag assisted him in getting her out of that house while bleeding. That was his goal. This was targeted.
The Guthrie family has been notified about these images that have been shared with the FBI, we are told. But according to the family and law enforcement so far,
See, just judging that right there, I don't even think you can get a good look at his shoes.
You're told.
Just
But
on that initial approach,
according
this is where
to
that
the-
video starts, on the first initial approach of his steps that he's taking toward that Ring
images
camera.
that have been shared with the FBI, we are told.
but again,
according to the family
even
and
based on what the lady is saying right now, let's go back again, and again, it looks like he's got a what you call a bite light in his mouth. I feel like those aren't common. There's not many places you could buy a bite light. We looked it up right now. Look it up and see if you can find a bite light online. You'll find them, but you're not going to find them in many places to purchase them. So this guy definitely came prepared. I can't really say that he came specifically just for harm, considering there was a ransom note. Not that I can't even say that ransom note is tied to this actual suspect. This, like I said, this whole investigation has been crazy. And whoever this is has been good so far. I mean, this thing has switched so many ways. So at one point we were for days we were at a standstill and nothing was really even happening. Even so far as FBI and sheriffs making a mistake, which I think even prolonged this whole thing. I mean, this thing has been absolutely everywhere, bro. It has been everywhere.
And getting her out of that house while bleeding, that was his goal. This was targeted.
the Guthrie family has been notified about these images that have been shared with the FBI, we are told. But according to the family and law enforcement so far, no one recognizes who the person.
It's almost like he's on that approach to the door. He's trying to be quiet at the same time as well.
Could be. Because there was no recognition, no one could identify this guy right here. The FBI posted the images and the videos on a public post.
And, you know, going back to what she was saying, like, because I was trying to get back to what the lady had said, I just came to mind. She was saying that the suspect we see in this video here, caught on surveillance, was his intent was harm. And I don't know. I don't think we can say that yet. You know, based on the devices that were used, I don't know if we have devices that are able to detect whether or not a gun has been fired in the home. But if we do, that would definitely be good information to have, because then we would have a great idea whether or not, you know, that gun was even used minutes after arrival. That's even questionable in itself. I wonder if that guy, maybe did harm her with that gun, and was able to stop a majority of the bleeding. And then he, took Nancy out to the car or wherever, that's another thing. Where's the car? Where's the car? How did he get there? How did he get her out? Was there help? And the fact that Annie Guthrie lives so close, it just makes it even more questionable. On top of them struggling, it just seems like it goes right back to Tomasso, and I feel like the FBI are feeling the same way. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been at her house for 3 hours. They spent 3 hours at Annie Guthrie's home, as well as Tomasso, I believe, because that's her husband. And they also took pictures. I think that says something. And they've spent the entire day. They're still there now. And like I said, we're going to keep an eye on JLR Investigates, because he might be en route back there right now. He's been back and forth between Nancy Guthrie home and the home of Tomasso and Annie's Guthrie's home. So, I mean, this guy has been everywhere. And I'm trying to keep an eye on his channel because he's been live nonstop. And man, it's been great to watch and stay in tune. So you got to appreciate that guy's work.
In the hope, in the prayer, someone
Investigates.
could recognize the perp or even the clothing, which absolutely could lead to a break in the case. Repeat, according to sources, the Guthrie family, no one within the family could identify this perp. And that is why the FBI chose to post the images and videos publicly, hoping and praying that someone would recognize not just the face, the gait, the clothing, but the backpack. Anything about them. Now, the backpack to me is the most identifiable thing about it. Lee Neubecker joining us, cybersecurity digital forensics expert, the CEO of Enigma Forensics. What about purchases of these gloves, this backpack, this face mask, which is also unique? How could it be traced?
Well, there's a database captured. How did someone buy? Did they buy on Amazon for every item? So the most unique items, like the gun holster, the hat, the items, as one of your other guests said, appear to be new and not used. Correlating, the shoes are the easiest thing, plus the backpack, probably be spotted. Once you get two of those, you can start to search.
So let me understand, Lee Neubecker, guys, joining us, CEO Enigma Forensics, how these purchases can be traced. And another thing that should be easily traceable, well, nothing is easily traceable, but easier to trace. What about that holster? Look at the holster he's wearing.
I'm not going to lie, that's a really funny looking holster. However, as far as things being purchased on Amazon, I don't think he got everything from Amazon. Maybe there were a few things he got off Amazon just because everybody shops on Amazon. But at the end of the day, why does it matter where he got it?
Wrapped around his waist and then hanging down. What? Look at that. Everybody take a look at that. How could something like that be traced, Lee Neubecker?
Here's a way anyone could do it. Your staff could do it. You could take a screenshot of that. You might have to edit to remove the glove, but if you have the size and you can establish dimensions by correlating to the brick size below, you can then do a Google image search and you can find anything that looks like it. And you might be able to find the same item. But the shoes are going to be the easiest one to match because the patterns on the bottom of shoes are fairly unique. Once you get the shoe, if you can correlate all the people in the area, presumably this person was local, not necessarily, but you got enough items there. If you get the backpack, you get the gloves, or the hat looks fairly distinctive. The stitching around the eyes looks distinctive. The there's a number of items there, but searching for those items and finding a combination of them could, like, look right there at the center of the eyes. That's a very unique angle, and the stitching is fairly unique.
Guys, take a look at this. There is the backpack, shoulder strap, close up with a reflective strip on it. Is that?
I don't think that's enough to define, what type of backpack that is, or say what type of backpack that is. I don't think that's enough. It just isn't quite clear enough to really call out what a lot of this stuff is that he's wearing. As far as, being able to name the brand. I'm also trying to figure out if he does have a double mask on or not. Some people are saying he has on 2 masks. I'm not seeing where that second mask comes into play. What's getting me is those eyebrows, man, that unibrow. And I was looking at Tomasso, because I know a lot of people feel like it's Tomasso, including myself. And I felt like he's got way thicker eyebrows, so that would be the only thing that would take away from it. But the thing is, I don't know what Tomasso looks like today. And I feel like in some pictures, if you look at the picture that I showed earlier, it looks like in some pictures his eyebrows are actually thinner than other pictures. So, I mean, let's take a look at that. I want y'all to see this picture again of Tomasso, because they got him near the actual guy that we're looking at right here on the screen. And y'all tell me what y'all think, and tell me how close you think this could possibly be, or could it potentially be right. But again, this guy with this mask on, it seems like he has a ski mask. I'm sorry, not a ski mask, a gold tee. Seems like he has a gold tee. It doesn't seem like he has a full-on beard, but again, it's very hard to tell because that ski mask is really covering everything. And that's the purpose of a ski mask. But like I was saying earlier, I feel like if that was my friend, I would know right away. So there is someone out there who very much so is going to identify this person. They are going to figure out who this person is. And I feel like we are going to have a lot of the details that we've been looking for by tomorrow. If not by Friday. But I think by tomorrow, guys, we going to have something. We going to have something. I just think this little bit of surveillance video just tells us what the FBI is very much so capable of. And we slept on them, man, because we got upset with the FBI and the sheriff for taking on their time. And we're still upset. We're still upset because they took so long, and they went back, and then they went back, and then they went back again. They kept missing stuff in Nancy Guthrie's home. And that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. Because we got FBI's or sheriff out here missing the most basic stuff that you check when you're investigating a high crime. I mean, this is a highly high crime. That's what I'm gonna call it. And this one is so viral, it's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. This one's got the most media attention that I've ever seen. At least since I've been around, this has been the most media attention. But let's continue.
A flashlight in his mouth? What? I did not see him put anything in his mouth, or is that some sort of reflective material? Let's look at him walking up again. Yeah, you know what? I think you're... Hold on. Back it up. Well, okay, I see it right there, too. I saw it then. It flashed on and off. I have a hat. I have a skull cap that I wear to all of my son's soccer games, and it has a flashlight built into the front of it. So if he looks up in the stands, he sees me.
Yeah, there were two shots. The last one that was held showed that he was looking at the side. Keep going. I'll tell you when. That one there. It's the camera. The Nest camera has a light that activates at night. At least some of the models do. The white in his eyes when he's looking straight at the camera, the prior version, it showed right in the center of his eyes. It was white. But it looks like he has something in his mouth there. There's a device called a Light. I sent a link to it. It's you put the flashlight in your mouth. You can tuck it inside your mouth. It's $4. You can bite with your teeth to turn it on or turn it off. And as you saw him lower his head, at one point the light was on, but his shirt started to light up as he lowered his head. So I'm pretty convinced. See how right there, that was a shot. Go back again, right there. He lowers it down. But as he lowers his head, the light's going down.
Maybe I'll
now up here, you'll notice the light will, everything will illuminate more as he looks at the camera. Right there. You can see his eyes on the left of the picture. You can see both of his pupils. They're not lit up.
This is the picture I was talking about, guys. This is the part of the video I was talking about.
Emanating light coming from his mouth. You see that, Nancy?
Yes. Good catch, Lee. You're right. Hold it. Hold it. Look. I want to make sure the viewers can see it. Look for, there's the bright light to the left. Right below it is a zipper. And if you look up carefully, you do see his eyes. Oh,
yes.
My stars.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the very beginning. This, and again, is giving me goosebumps because this is exactly where I paused when they showed this very part. This is the exact part that I paused on because right here you get the best glance you can get. This entire surveillance video that was caught on camera by this Ring camera. It was caught on camera by this Ring camera, and this is the best view. This is the best moment that it captures the suspect in at any point in time in this video. So, I mean, I could look at this all day long and just try to put this together. And I'm sure the FBI are sitting there doing this right now, playing this over and over and over and over. And I want to say this is going to be their best shot right here. If they're going to put some type of sketch together and tie this person, to the actual person that did this, this is going to be their best shot right here. I mean, it gets no better than this when somebody's approaching with a ski mask on. But again, there's that Light that he has in his mouth. And I think I oversaw somebody saying that that's something you see in the military. So I mean, maybe so. I'm not educated when it comes to bite lights, man. I don't know.
Who said Light first?
Or
was it McDonough?
Lee.
No, it was Lee.
Lee Niebecker, brilliant. Okay, so what does that tell us? What have we learned? What about it, Cheryl McCollum? What does this tell you?
Again, he came prepared.
Cheryl, you're right. So all of the chasing our tails about this being random is BS. So let's don't ever talk about that again. While we're looking at these images, can you imagine Mrs. Guthrie waking up to this in her face? That ski mask, that?
Man, just imagine.
Okay, I want to talk about the buccal swabs being taken right now. Dave Mack, who is getting swabbed?
Well, Nancy, we know that Ms. Guthrie has a lot of help around the house because she is living on her own. She is mentally very, she's perfect there. But I'm going to assume, based on an 84-year-old woman living on her own with physical medical issues, that there is help coming by to check on her. One thing we do know, she has a pool person that takes care of the swimming pool. We do know she has landscape yard people who do the gardening and keep it trimmed up. We also know she has a housekeeper that comes by and cleans.
Hold on. How do you have all of these people? This is money, guys. This is money. None of this that they're naming are free. Run that back.
We do know she has landscape yard people who do the gardening and keep it trimmed up. We also know she has a housekeeper that comes by and cleans inside the house. So all of those people are considered just outside the inner circle of these employees, people who show up every week on a regular basis and know that house and know all the inner workings of the house. Those are the people that are being buccal swabbed this week, right now.
So she's got a housekeeper and she's got somebody that comes and does the landscaping, which is, cutting the grass and, doing all the necessary work that you do outside of the home. And then she's also got a pool cleaner on top of, I think, some type of caregivers that come by. I'm not too certain if her insurance may pay for that, but any of the other things that were named as far as somebody coming by, from the, like I said, the pool cleaner to housekeeping, and then down to the person that does the landscaping, this is definitely by far not free. So this lady definitely had some money. And the reason why I'm saying this is, how do you have all of that, maintain all of that each week, and not pay for your subscription for your camera? Something ain't right here. And someone old or elderly, should we reference it, is more likely to get something and pay for it consistently, not only just consistently each month, but they're also going to have that auto pay set up, which is an option in pretty much everything nowadays. So if you're old, you need it, you got to have it in your home, unless you just got that Ring camera and just forgot to pay that subscription. But and I know when a subscription is due and you owe for it, you're getting text message for whatever subscription that is. It's 2026. We get text messages for anything and everything nowadays, and especially for subscriptions. So that's funny to me. That's really, really odd to me. I don't know about that part, as far as the subscription for her cameras not being paid for.
Now,
I know so far that the pool cleaner and the landscaper, they have both been asked to submit buccal swabs.
So they're going to get a swab. It looks like all of the people that do come by are going to be swabbed, because, with the technology and the things that the FBI have, just remember they are able to retrieve some type of DNA. They can get some type of DNA, and, obviously that's going to be used to match up with whoever the suspect may be, or it may lead to something. So considering they're going to swab everybody, what I'm waiting for that Nancy keeps talking about is the poly. We're waiting for that poly. And my biggest question is, are they actually taking a poly? Is there really a polygraph going to happen amongst the family members? If so, I think that might open a lot of doors as well. Remember, Annie Guthrie has not really spoken as well. And maybe they're waiting for all of the polys to come back. Maybe. And maybe Annie ends up not trying to take the poly. Maybe she tries to refuse taking the polygraph. Maybe that's why we're being held back and we haven't got any information on the results as far as the poly. Because based on what I've seen, I believe, they're able to give you the results of the poly right then and there. I mean, they tell you and give you thumbs up and thumbs down right then and there. So, I mean, a poly is instant from the moment you start to, to finish. So why haven't we got that poly yet? Interesting.
In addition to the pool cleaner and the gardener, other, quote, hired help. So I can assume, do you agree or disagree, Cheryl McCollum, that the family has already submitted to buccal swabs as well as the granny nannies?
I think so. I think a lot of people have voluntarily come forward. I don't think this is something that anybody's going to give them any trouble with. They want to clear this up. And again, if there was anybody that was hesitant, that would be a clue.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Between the grocery store and insurance balances. Americans hundreds
skip
for home
that all
loans.
up.
Zero. This perp stated, if the ransom notice to be believed, that he, and it is a male, likely a white male, would return Mrs. Guthrie 12 hours after the money was received. The money was received, we believe, yesterday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. That means the perp has failed in the promise to deliver Mrs. Guthrie, and we've got to ask ourselves what incentive is left to hand her over now that we believe they've got the money. What about it, Neubecker?
I think that they're going to, this vital light that he appears to have in his mouth, which is separate from the Nest camera light, because you can see here, there's a shadow under his chin on the last shot. His eyes are illuminated.
Yes.
He's looking directly at the camera, and the white light in his eyes is centered. In other shots, you see it comes at an angle. So there's two light sources here.
You're right.
There's several things to notice here. The center of his pupils, he's centered up looking directly at the Nest cam. He's got what appears to be a Vitalite in his mouth. You'll see when he's bending over, he turns on the flashlight to find the grass that he grabs. But notice the shadow underneath his chin. Also, as he puts his hand forth, notice the glove. You can see there's a bright light source coming from the front towards the camera. And as this progresses, you'll see when he's got the camera blocked, you can see that there's a light emitting from the camera. The fact that there's a shadow under his chin tells you that the camera's slightly higher than where his eyes are, because that causes the shadow to cast.
Does anyone detect a beard?
I think he has chin hair, Nancy. He's in that one photograph, you can see that he appears right there. You see the dark, what appears to be a darker shade.
I don't think they paid. I'm seeing in the chat that somebody
that
said
could be indicative of facial.
They paid. I don't think, from what I've heard, that they paid. I'm gonna look it up real quick, guys, just to see if they paid that $6 million. Because remember, they said if they didn't pay the $2 million that was requested, or I believe it was over $2 million, but let's just say $2 million because I'm not 100% sure. But the $2 million that was demanded upon the ransom note was supposed to, be sent at a certain deadline, and if it wasn't sent, then they were also going to up it to $6 million if it wasn't sent. That tells me that Savannah Guthrie and her siblings, Annie Guthrie, as well as the brother, were communicating with the suspect or kidnapper only because no one told us publicly where to send the money. No one said there was anywhere to send the money to. No one said they had an address to send the money to. So the whole time this is going on, I'm thinking, well, where are they going to send the money? How are they going to send the money if they don't, because remember, the kidnapper never responded. There was no response. So there must be something that we don't know that we're missing here, because if there has been somewhere the whole entire time for them to send it to, then why didn't they send it? And I think Donald Trump even came on, and he was the one who actually said that he would actually give them the money. But I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I was hearing that Donald Trump was the one who said that he would actually give them the money.
Hair. And then, of course, the mustache potentially above that. One other thing I think we're learning here is this gentleman is very, very comfortable doing what he's doing here. As Cheryl pointed out earlier, the fact that he's coming there, with a kill kit potentially, within that bag.
But as far as I'm concerned, I looked it up, and there isn't any indication that her family paid the multi-million-dollar ransom that was demanded. I'm not seeing anything referring to them paying the demand of that ransom, because there was a deadline for the 4 million to 6 million, and we've already reached and passed that deadline. So I don't know where we go from here or what actually really happens to Nancy Guthrie, to be honest with you. And we had no signs of any life as well. And that was one of the things that the family members were asking for before they sent the money. So that could be the biggest reason why the money wasn't sent in the first place.
We don't know that for sure, but that would be potentially logical. And the fact that he came with a gun tells us he is prepared to use deadly force, whatever's necessary. And so one of the things I'm concerned about is we're not seeing any of that blood evidence in these photographs here or on this video. Because we know
well,
that
wouldn't the
blood
simple answer be that the blood was dropped when she was leaving, so they wouldn't be on this video?
Yes, but remember the debris that was dropped on that porch. Those photographs that we initially saw had the debris on top of the blood droplets. That, look at the upper left-hand corner, the quadrant there where the debris is. Notice that one piece is over the top of the blood droplet. Okay, and those are 90-degree blood droplets, meaning they were straight down. But you'll see the debris is on top of them. So either he, while bringing her out, had kicked his own debris and she was bleeding, and that would explain that. Or, at some point, how does that debris get on top of the blood? That's the question I have. And what's concerning is she being carried out? Because, like Cheryl,
remember, they did confirm that this was Nancy Guthrie's blood. So, with that being said, she definitely was somehow, some way hurt in some way. And I hate to say it, but she definitely was harmed in some way. I don't see any other way that, someone just starts bleeding out of nowhere. She was definitely carried out some way, somehow. This guy was definitely big and strong enough to carry Nancy Guthrie out. And I honestly think, considering the street lights are so far away, we all know that there was a vehicle that he left in. But the biggest question is, are we going to find the vehicle? And the bigger question is, are we going to find the actual suspect? And is this enough? And moving forward tomorrow, will we get more videos? What more does the FBI know? It's just a lot of questions still into play. But again, pertaining to earlier, I don't think that we found a suspect, because we had a suspect outside of Rio Rico, which was detained. And that turned out to not be our suspect, guys. And I said it in the very beginning as soon as I saw the picture of the gentleman that was pulled over. And it definitely was not our suspect. But they were saying that person was tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation going on. I don't know why people would just suddenly say that without, figuring it out. That's why I immediately knew it wasn't it, because the way they were already saying it, and they just pulled the person over. How do you know that person is tied to the Nancy Guthrie thing going on? What did you discover right away, instantly? But that's the media just twisting things up.
Has she been bound, or something to that effect? What's going on? Because we know something happened inside that house where he injured her, and she was ready, or he was ready, to do that. Evident of the fact that he walked in with the items that he did.
Okay, I'm looking at the debris. What it is gravel around her door, and some of it got on top of the blood. I think one of the reasons she's bleeding is because she's on blood thinner. And I say that because if you look at the picture of her sitting in a lounge chair, you can see on her left hand, you can see where she's had bleeding just under the skin. I saw that on my dad, on his hands. and his arms from the elbow down, over and over and over. That's what you get when you're on blood thinner, and you may even just barely bump your hand on something, and that's what happens. So
that's highly possible. But like I said, going back to that gun that he's going in the home with, was that gun discharged in Nancy Guthrie's home? Was that gun used at all? And why would Nancy Guthrie be bleeding on the way out? What did the suspect do to Nancy Guthrie? I believe Nancy would have had to be at least unconscious for him to, safely get her to the car. I don't think her being conscious of what's going on and that guy being alone would have, without knocking a whole bunch of stuff down and causing a mess in the front yard somehow, some way. Because, this guy didn't really leave much. He didn't really leave much. From what I could see, just observing everything that happened, I feel like he didn't struggle much at all either. He made it look easy. And looking at Nancy right there, she doesn't really look like a very heavy lady. Well, I'm sorry. I take that back. Looking at Nancy in some pictures, she doesn't look like a very heavy lady. In this very picture here, she definitely looks like she holds enough weight for this guy to really struggle getting her to a vehicle and just disappearing like he did. I don't think that's somebody that I could just carry for a substantial amount of time, throw in a vehicle, but that could explain why she was bleeding, because he might have bumped something on the way out while holding and carrying her, and that could have caused the bleeding. But there's so many things that, we could come up with that cause her bleeding. We just don't know. I mean, this whole story is just crazy.
Tells me that she's on Eliquis or some other type of blood thinner. Very common if you're on heart meds. It also keeps you from having a stroke. So anything could have made her start bleeding on that front porch. Let's go back to the picture of the debris. Okay, we're saying debris. What it is the gravel. The driveway is made up of the same type of gravel, and there's some around the front porch. I believe she's standing. You have low velocity blood droplets there. And if you look at the one furthest to the right, you see a radiation, you see a radius of blood. She's standing still, and she's dropping blood within blood. It's a blood within blood pattern, and it looks like a nosebleed possibly, where blood is dropping within blood. You don't see that she's being carried, you don't see smears, and I bet right there she needed assistance standing. And the gravel is all around the front door.
But what would have provoked Nancy to go? You know what I'm saying? What, besides a gun to her head, what would have provoked her to go if she was willing to go? Because if somebody has a gun to my head and I'm 84 years old, look, I've already lived a long life. I don't have too much to lose. So why am I going to go willingly? You got to think about that.
Someone went to her left, or she stepped into the gravel, walking out. That's how I read it. What about it, Cheryl McCollum?
I see it a little different, Nancy. The blood drops, I agree. But if you look at what you're calling a blood drop and a blood drop, that's not what it looks like to me. That looks like medium to high velocity. It's much further out than you would expect it to be. It doesn't have a pooling with a drop and a drop. If you look down toward the bottom, there is a clear transfer print. Those are the kind of things, again, law enforcement should have captured. They should have collected. They should have focused on. I agree with you. There's no drag marks. Nobody was pulled through that. But we know she has trouble walking. We know she's on blood thinner. So you've got to ask yourself, was she coughing? Was her hand full of blood? Did she touch down? Those are the kind of answers that I want to know about.
You're right. These patterns mean something. And the scene was left unsecured. People walked up and took pictures of it. That's where these pictures came from. Totally unacceptable for the crime scene to have been cleared with the blood still there, for Pete's sake. What else do we know at this hour, Dave Mack?
What we know, Nancy, is that as the investigation continues, these pictures just being released, we know that the family, that Savannah Guthrie, has seen the pictures, and they're asking people to come forward. Look at the pictures. Look at the video. You know, if that's a loved one, if that's a friend, if that is somebody you know, you can tell by the way the person is walking before they put their head down. They have a certain gait. Take a look at it. You can recognize the person actually knows when to slow down and stop a normal walk. You see it right there. And I'm telling you, Nancy, if that's your husband, if that's your boyfriend, you know who that is. Pick up the phone and call.
I just said that earlier. Like I said, look, man, if that's my best friend or that's somebody I'm close to, I know who that is, bro. I'm going to be able to identify that very person right there. There's no doubt about it. Again, I was explaining this yesterday. I work in a long-term and short-term care facility. And most people that have a walker, because Nancy had a walker, she is considered a very independent person. And, you know, there are people that are 84 who can walk a decent way. So just because she has a walker does not mean that she can't walk far. You know, there are a lot of old people out there who get up and take miles and miles of walks. So I don't think that's something we can say that Nancy struggled walking. And I don't think any of the family members came out and said whether or not Nancy struggled walking. Even with a two-wheel and a four-wheel walker, you're able to, a lot of people are able to walk pretty far. Some of them no. But being that Nancy had a cane tells me that she had a dominant leg and the other one wasn't as dominant. You know, she has trouble with one of the other legs. But that's a blessing for her to be 84 and only using a walker. But like I said, it doesn't really, her age doesn't take away, nor does that walker take away from her being able to walk a far distance. Just being that I deal with that every single day.
Okay, here's a question to Lee Neubecker, joining us, cybersecurity digital forensic expert, CEO, Enigma Forensics. If they can pull video from the door cam, what about the other cams? Like the one that was aimed down the driveway toward the street. Is there any more footage they can release? What do you think, Lee?
Well, potentially there might be neighbors nearby that might have captured him getting out of a vehicle. I mean, I'd love to get this raw video, Nancy, because there's things I can do like color contrasting and other things that might reveal new clues no one's talking about.
I'm already aware of the wrongly accused man. I'm seeing some things in the chat that we got to address real quick. I've already seen the wrongly accused man. They have determined that is not a suspect. So I did share a video earlier. I'll share it again of the gentleman that was the suspect in the right outside the border near, I think, Rio Rico it was. There was the mother of that suspect who spoke out, and I'll show a short of that. But that wasn't our suspect. Let me play that real quick so y'all can hear this.
Being searched where this subject lived, we're told. There was a traffic stop close by. This is the
I can assure you it's not him.
I'm outside the house that is now being searched where this subject lived, we're told. There was a traffic stop close by. This is the subject being questioned in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This is Josephina.
Yes.
This is her house, and the subject is her son-in-law.
Yeah,
is
my
that right?
son, yeah.
Tell me how this happened. Where was he when he was detained?
My daughter and him and the kids, my grandkids, were doing DoorDash. when they got stopped here, and I don't know what kind of questions they asked them. But when we got home, I wasn't at home. When we got home, we found out that they took my son out. They went inside, they busted the doors from my house. They went inside and took my son to the living room and had him handcuffed, and then got him outside. That's when the time that we got home, and we asked what was going on, and they couldn't say anything. And they said, and I asked him to have a search warrant to go in my house, and they said we don't need a search warrant. We could go do that if we want to. They took my phone. They took my phone, my husband's phone, my daughter's phone, my grandkid's phone, and my son-in-law's phone.
These are the pictures from outside Nancy Guthrie's house.
Mm-hmm.
This is who they're looking for. Do the eyes look like your son-in-law at all?
No, not at all.
Do you see the mouth?
Yeah, no, he doesn't look at all like my.
Does he? What's his name?
It's Carlos. Carlos Palazuelos.
But I believe they were trying to say this was our guy, but that's not our guy, guys. That's not the guy. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because a lot of people were saying that that we had the suspect, bro. It was just a whole lot of wrong information put out there, and immediately they were saying that person was tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation going on. Not the case at all. I don't know why people are just throwing things out there, man. I mean, it's been happening, and that's why I feel like the ransom thing is just something to stir this whole pot up. You know, I feel like that ransom thing might not even correlate with this whole investigation when it comes to Nancy. That might be a whole completely different person for all we know. But what do I know? What do I know, guys? Hey, I want to just thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I want to remind everybody to like the stream and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We will keep continuing to cover this thing. We won't stop until we figure out what happened to Nancy Guthrie. Again, I still feel like Tomasso, is it Tomasso? I want to say, I can't pronounce his name, man. I've been doing this. Tomasso, my goodness, has a big part in this. I feel like we are going to discover at some point that Annie and Tomasso have something to do with this. I can't stop saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Tomasso, Tomasso, Tomasso. Annie, 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 Annie. Tomasso, Annie, Tomasso, Annie. They got something to do with this, guys. There's no doubt about it, bro. No doubt. I mean, they're struggling. I looked it up earlier. I believe Tomasso is a biology teacher. And again, remember they said that they had perfect grammar when they wrote that ransom note. And that's one of the things that you very much so have to have when you are a biology teacher, is good grammar. So, I mean, if you put that together, it starts to kind of sound like it's Tomasso, man. And just looking at these pictures right here, I think that's Tomasso, man. I just really do. I really am confused here and there, and I think that person, I really want to think that person is a younger person and he's not the age of Tomasso, but at the same time, Tomasso might be our guy. Tomasso just might be the guy. In time, we will see. We will stay locked into this thing day in and night out. We will definitely. This is a very, very interesting case. Well, it's an investigation right now, but I think it's going to make it far enough to turn it into a case. But we'll stay tuned in. I hope you guys stay tuned in. Continue to stay plugged in with your boy. I got to get off. Your boy got work in the morning. I can't do like these a majority of these YouTubers and vloggers, man. I do have a life outside of streaming. This is my step back into the streaming world. So I started gaming, and now I want to try something different. So, you know, I'm new to this world. I'm new to this world, so give me time to evolve. I do got to get better at a lot of things, man. Again, man, big shouts to everybody who plugged in with me tonight. that is going to end it for me tonight. Plug in with me tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow around the same time, just kind of recapping everything that went on throughout the day and just the entire Nancy Guthrie investigation that's going on. My prayers and big hopes go out to the family, Savannah, even Annie and Tomasso. You know, I pray that they're not a part of this, and we do discover tomorrow that this is a completely different person and this has no relations to the family, you know. But I'm still thinking this is Tomasso, man. I'm not letting that go, man. I'm gonna stay with the thoughts that I have right now. Stay plugged in, guys. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like the stream. I'm out, baby.
And the videos on a public post in the prayer, someone could recognize the perp or even the clothing, which absolutely could lead to a break in the case. Repeat, according to sources, the Guthrie family, no one within the family could identify this perp. And that is why the FBI chose to post the images and videos publicly, hoping and praying that someone would recognize not just the face, the gait, the clothing, but the backpack. Anything about them. Now, the backpack to me is the most identifiable thing about it. Lee Neubecker joining us, cybersecurity digital forensics expert, the CEO of Enigma Forensics. What about purchases of these gloves, this backpack, this face mask, which is also unique? How could it be traced?
Well, there's a database capture. How did someone buy? Did they buy on Amazon for every item? So the most unique items, like the gun holster, the hat, the items, as one of your other guests said, appear to be new and not used. Correlating, the shoes are the easiest thing, plus the backpack, probably be spotted. Once you get two of those, you can start to search.
So let me understand, Lee Neubecker, guys, joining us, CEO Enigma Forensics, how these purchases can be traced. And another thing that should be easily traceable, well, nothing is easily traceable, but easier to trace. What about that holster? Look at the holster he's wearing. Is that wrapped around his waist and then hanging down? What? Look at that. Everybody take a look at that. How could something like that be traced, Lee Neubecker?
Here's a way anyone could do it. Your staff could do it. You could take a screenshot of that. You might have to edit to remove the glove, but if you have the size and you can establish dimensions by correlating to the brick size below, you can then do a Google image search and you can find anything that looks like it, and you might be able to find the same item. But the shoes are going to be the easiest one to match because the patterns on the bottom of shoes are fairly unique. Once you get the shoe, if you can correlate all the people in the area, presumably this person was local, not necessarily, but you got enough items there. If you get the backpack, you get the gloves, or the hat looks fairly distinctive, the stitching around the eyes looks distinctive. There's a number of items there, but searching for those items and finding a combination of them could, look right there at the center of the eyes. That's a very unique angle, and the stitching is fairly unique.
Guys, take a look at this.